Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My brothers and sisters, Kaif Haluka, Kaif Haluki, how is everybody doing today? Had a wonderful day, very eventful, had a lot of stuff that took place, we had a lot of stuff that had to get done, work oriented, all different things, right? So, during the live stream the other night, and this is a question that has been asked actually a couple times, I guess I just never noticed it before. That has been reached out to me through my inbox, and I never saw them until recently. Yet this sister, right, during this live stream, she asked me, she says, in the stance of Islam, she said, how does Islam, look at depression, right? If someone is struggling with depression, how do we view that in an Islamic view, okay? So I first had to explain, right, of course, the reason she asked me this was because I studied psychology as my major in college, and I studied in addiction psychology and different aspects of psychology, okay? So when I was younger, as you guys know, I struggled with, I did. I struggled with PTSD from certain moments, certain traumatic experiences at a young age that occurred in my life. Now, if you would like to see those, you can go check those out yourself through my other videos on the channel. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring that bell so you can be notified every single time I post a video or an upload, inshallah. So, with that being said, doctors tried to say that I was this, that I was that. They tried to put a label on everything. Man, I was just a kid. I was going through a traumatic experiences. Of course, anybody would be sad, would be down when they go through an experience like that. You don't need to put a kid on a pill or anything like this. Astaghfirullah, right? So they tried to diagnose me. They tried to diagnose me with depression, ADHD, and all these other things. Astaghfirullah. When I was just a kid that was sad and had extra energy, right? I mean, really, when you think about it, that's how it was. It was just big pharma trying to step their foot in there, okay, and trying to make an extra buck off of shaitan. You understand what I'm saying? And most of the views when it comes to antidepressants and such is that it really is the placebo effect, okay? For those who don't know what that is, it is basically like you tell somebody that, somebody's sad or whatever, and you say, okay, I have, we created a pill that it will fix this, it will cure this, when in all reality, this pill is a capsule with just water in there, literally H2O inside it, okay? The man takes it, he feels better. Wait, how can he feel better if there's nothing but a little bit of water inside a capsule? The placebo effect. It is because in his mind he truly believes that what he's taking is going to help him, okay? So he tells himself he's going to be better, therefore he will be better. It's like a mind over matter sort of thing, right? And again, this is the lies that is told to us through the government, through big pharma, and all this stuff, right? So in the terms, and let me also state, right, that the way that it is believed in a psychological standpoint is for those who have depression, right, or who are depressed, you are sad. You are very sad. You are, you may be going through a traumatic event in your life. You may be not exercising enough. You may not be stimulating yourself enough mentally and physically throughout your day. These sort of things will happen, right? When you're just sitting by and you're remaining idle, you're not doing anything, you're just sitting around. An idle mind is the devil's playground, so to speak. This is what they say, right? So, in these scenarios, okay, from a psychological standpoint, as I was just saying, they try to say that depression, okay, is in our brain, it is a chemical imbalance in that person, in that individual. Now, what that means is, in your brain, in everyone's brain, right, we have these things called serotonin receptors. And serotonin receptors are the things that have the job of producing serotonin. Now, for those that don't know what serotonin is the thing in your brain which produces happy thoughts, positivity, good thing, like all this, right? All happiness, like all jittery happiness, right? Positivity. Now, when the serotonin receptors are damaged and, done, they do not reproduce. Okay, once you knock off or kill your serotonin receptors, they're done. Like they're gone, and there's no coming back. There's no reproducing them. There's no creating more. And they say that, I mean, there's so many things that can take them out. Smoking tobacco, using tobacco, smoking marijuana, drinking alcohol, all sorts of things, right? Especially with this new age thing today, with the the ecstasy and the MDMA, that stuff is very bad for it. At least that's what they say, right? And all that stuff is terrible. So, anyways, when it comes down to it, I don't believe that your brain cannot reproduce serotonin receptors. I think, once again, this is a lie told by the government and big pharma, that to get you to get on these antidepressants so they can again cycle this, making money off of you, off of this placebo. Okay? So I say this because I truly believe that people who have depleted their serotonin receptors, you can create and reproduce more serotonin receptors by, as I said earlier, stimulating yourself, stimulating your mind, mentally, well, obviously mentally, but stimulating yourself mentally and physically, okay? And doing this, it will recreate, right? Because you're forcing positivity into yourself. I just want to state the fact that for those people who do or have taken antidepressants, who they have put them on antidepressants, you will notice, right, when you take them, right, and the doctor will tell you this when they put you on them, they will say that, this is not the end-all be-all. It's not just you take this pill and all of a sudden you're good, right? You have to take it. You have to constantly, force positive thoughts in and push the negative ones out. And now this is a term in psychology called cognitive therapy, which cognitive therapy is literally that you're forcing positivity into your brain, forcing the positive thoughts in and pushing the negative thoughts out, okay? So you're reprogramming your mind, you're reprogramming your brain, you're telling yourself over time positivity, you're waking up in the morning, looking in the mirror, telling yourself 10 things positive about yourself, things you're happy about, a gratuity list, all right, that's what they like to say. Make a gratuity list, say things that you're happy for, that you're grateful for, okay? Anyways, now we're going to get into what it is Islamically. Now, when I want to say it was probably around like the two month mark, right? And there was a younger brother that he had been I don't know. Yes, he was raised in Islam, although he did not practice until he did not start practicing until very recently, over the past year or two. This young gentleman's only 20, 21. I'm not going to say his name, of course, for certain reasons. So anyways, this brother struggling with being in a young man in this generation of straight degeneracy, going out drinking and smoking grass and all this stuff. Astaghfirullah, right? This all, right, he started to form depression, right? Because his parents, his family all started to notice that he was very negative. He was, when he wasn't doing this stuff, which they didn't know he was doing, when he wasn't doing this stuff, astaghfirullah, he was very sad, very down, very negative, pessimistic, and of course, they said they sent him to a therapist, and the therapist tried to say he has depression, right? Astaghfirullah. Okay, now when you combine whatever those substances are that they give you, the government, with alcohol and all these other things, it makes it 100 times worse. 100 times worse, right? So, because this brother was struggling with this, and he had told me that he said, okay, I told him first thing he needs to do is stop all that haram, right? He needs to get that out of his life. So he did, right? And he was still struggling with things in his life. I told him everything I'm telling you right now, that he needs to stimulate his mind more mentally, or he needs to stimulate himself mentally and physically. He said that he was going to, but he really didn't. He really didn't when it came to that. And I only saw him a couple days later after that, and I ended up talking to the sheikh about this. I didn't tell the sheikh who it was. I just said I had a friend going through this. And when I mentioned the word depression, the sheikh, one of my mentors, said to me, Mikā'īl, Now, he said, I want you to know this because, you know, you are a new Muslim. You do not understand, you know, the way that we view things in Islam as far as this goes. I said, yes, that's exactly why I'm coming to you, you know, and I said, so what exactly how do we view it in Islam, right? And what he said, it was really beautiful when you think about it. He said, well, we don't believe in the term depression in Islam. That's why you keep seeing me go like this, right? In Islam, right, we truly believe that if you have complete faith, if you have complete, right, you've completely sacrificed your will to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are a complete, faithful, loyal, and loving servant to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to our Creator. You believe in Him, that He has the greatest, that He has the best plans for you. He is the greatest planner of all. He is all-knowing, all-hearing, all-seeing, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take care of you. If you have faith in that, which as Muslims, that is like our core belief, right? That we are a pure servant, loyal, faithful servant to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We praise and worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We give our will to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because we have faith that Allah knows what is best for us. So if we do this, how can we be depressed, right? How can you be sad? Like, of course, we're human beings. We're going to go through different emotions. But how can you fall into a depression? Astaghfirullah, right? So when he told me this, I was just completely blown away. I was like, you know what? That makes complete sense. I was like, thank you so much, you know, da 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 da. And of course, you know, I took that information. I brought it to this young brother. I said all these same things that the Sheikh said to me. And I said, brother, please, on top of these things, right? And he had been slacking on his farz salah. You know, he had only came to the masjid. You know, he had reached out to me because he knew through my I had been honest with him about my past and stuff like this before I reverted to Islam, and he had been honest with me about all of these things, right? So I had been honest with him about all of these things. So he said, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. So he had reached out to me and said, can you meet me at the masjid? So I told him, that's another thing, brother. Come to the masjid as often as possible. You need to put yourself around fellow Muslims because this will, right, this will help you. This will get you to think more positively, to fall back into a healthy mindset, spiritually, mentally, and physically, right? Because if you're spiritually healthy, everything will start to roll into place, right? And you use everything that I just told him to stimulate yourself physically and mentally, things will get better. To get yourself out of the house, right? Or even if you are, especially get yourself out. Just go for a walk, right? Get some more sun in your life. You need to be outside more, right? You need to and do the cognitive therapy thing. Start forcing positivity in your mind. Make a gratuity list, right? Tell yourself 10 things that you are grateful about your life every single morning and night if you have to, right? Or throughout the day too, even if you have to, and so forth and so on. And you will see a large improvement in your day-to-day life. Of course, you have to add in, if you can too, right? Not if you can, definitely, you have to stimulate yourself physically, okay? Walking, just going for a walk, walking for a quarter of a mile, or just walking around the block. Literally just walking around the block, getting some sun in your life, getting that, I don't know, vitamin D, vitamin B, no, I think it's vitamin D, right? Or is it vitamin E? I don't know, somebody help me there. But anyways, doing that. And if you are one of the people who are afraid to, you know, you don't want to go to the gym, you're worried about how people will see your body, you know, you struggle. Of course, during people who are sad and down in these times, they're struggling with their self-esteem. So maybe go to the gym with loose clothing, wear sweatpants and a sweatshirt, right? They have air conditioning, so you'll be fine with that in there. Aside from that, you can do calisthenics, and in my belief, right, yes, I do lift weights, but I don't lift big. I lift small weights, and I lift, you know, I do mass reps for smaller weight. I like to be cut rather than right to it, not like, you know, to the doors and stuff. No. And I like calisthenics, push-ups, chin-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, muscle-ups, all these things, right? This will improve your mental health, your spiritual health, and of course your physical health. So That is how we view depression and Islam. These are things that you can do to help yourself if you fall into a depressed or a sad state. Okay, not depression, a sad state. And to always remember that we are the servant, the loyal, faithful, loving servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we have full faith and we have sacrificed our will to our Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I am Brother Mikā'īl. I hope you all had a wonderful day today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe. Ring the notification bell so you can be notified every single time I upload a video. And of course, as always, I love you all. Like the video, share it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You all take care, brothers and sisters.